Jingle Man, but coming to the stage right now, Iwanu.
Alright, I want to finish my Trump jokes. Alright. You know, when I was running for election, I told that I would protect all women, whether they liked it or not. And now that I'm president, I will keep my promise. And with my bare hands, I will protect the breasts and vaginas of all women, whether they like it or not. Alright, here's Donald Trump with a bottlenose dolphin swimming up his ass. Oh no, I got a bottlenose dolphin swimming up my butthole. Oh crap, this is painful. Oh, it's terrible. Damn you, Flipper. No, don't talk. Ah! Oh, get out of my ass, you fucking dolphin. Oh my god, my hemorrhoids are gone. I'm gonna need you to do that on a weekly basis, Dolphin. Yes, I'll make you my Secretary of the Navy. You will be my Rear Admiral. Now here's Trump getting a prostate exam. Ooh, hey, that's kind of painful, doctor. Hey, if your finger's in my butthole, how come your hands are on my shoulders?
Oh God.
Now here's Trump getting shot. Oh no, I got shot in the chest. Oh no, it was Luigi Mangione, that handsome bastard. He escaped jail and he shot me. It's okay, I don't have a heart, so I'll be fine. But find that guy. Oh, I gotta do his voice. He's probably in a McDonald's. Just look for that one guy still wearing a mask. The news doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure Luigi Mangione is gay. They show his x-ray where you can clearly see he's got metal pins in his spine. That's the proof right there. He's broke back. Once president, I will pardon Luigi Mangione. And once pardoned, I will invite him to the White House. And in the Oval Office, I will give him every single inch of my gratitude. Yeah, Kamala Harris said that me and JD Vance, we're weird. They're weird, she said. But no, we're not weird. But I know who is RFK Jr. He is the weirdest man I've ever met in my entire life. Everything he does, everything he says is weird. He's oh yeah, his voice, the way he looks is weird. The way he talks is weird. He's destined to get a bullet in the head because that's normal. And I've seen a picture of him eating a giant dog steak. He's got a worm in his brain. That's dead. That's disgusting. And he killed a bear cub and put it in Central Park as a prank. I mean, who does that? He's not really a politician. More like the villain from Batman. And his face looks like that dog steak that he was eating. And his voice sounds like he's underwater all the time. Oh, it's terrible. It's horrible. It's so coarse and gravelly. I feel like I have to huck a loogie every time I hear it. And I want to say, like, what's wrong with your voice, RFK Jr.? Is it from eating all that dog? Because you got to say your voice is very rough. Yes, I put Tom Homan in charge of the border. That man scares me. I think he's a devil. But you have to be tough on the border, and there's nobody tougher than the devil. Tom Homan is the type of man who would push an old lady down a flight of stairs. And as border czar, he will deport whole families back to Mexico. If he can, he will push them down flight of stairs. And once all the illegal aliens are gone, I will send every American a cheese shredder and a block of cheese, and we will make America great again. As you know, I love eating McDonald's, It's my favorite food. Because the food's already pre-made, so there's not enough time to spit in my food. So I love it. But one thing most people don't know is that I don't really love McDonald's at all. I just pretend I do to relate to you peasants. Now that I'm president, you will never see me eating that garbage ever again. No, I eat food prepared by my private chef, Raoul, and his pet Ratatouille. His food is so delicious that if you tasted it, your mouths would explode and your brains would melt. No, much like there's nothing authentic about me. My shoes make me look taller than I really am. My skin is spray tanned and my hair is bleached. Much like my beloved Filet-O-Fish, I am flaky, cheesy, fishy, and a bit tardy. Okay, let's see. Ah, let's forget. All right, here's my other jokes. Brand new jokes. You know, in Spanish, the X makes an H sound, right? Like Mexico. And then also the J makes an H sound, right? Like Jose, right? And then the G makes an H sound, right? Like Jorge. And then you got the H, right? That's another H. That's 4 H's. Man, no wonder why Mexicans are so good at farming. You know, they say a chimpanzee is strong enough to rip your hands off. That's crazy, right? So you definitely don't want one of them giving you a hand job. You know, the letter Q is like the most unnecessary letter in the fucking alphabet, right? Because any word with a Q in it can be changed with K, you know, and it'll be perfectly fine, right? I think the only reason why we have the letter Q is to differentiate the letter between king and queen, right? So in that way, the Q is not even really a letter, but a symbol, you know? Yeah, really, the Q is just basically this. I couldn't hear it very well. You know, nunchucks are illegal, right? But guns are legal. So it's like, what the fuck's that all about? Seems a little backwards, don't you think? You know, what it was is like some lawmaker back in the 70s was watching some Bruce Lee movie. And was like, oh my gosh, you know, look at this guy and look what he can do with those, right? So they made him illegal. But I'm like, dude, it's a fucking movie and shit. Like, you know, like what, Wicked is #1 movie right now. Are you gonna ban broomsticks? I used to believe what the news told me, but I don't anymore, you know, because of Milo Yiannopoulos, right? I don't know if you remember him, but in the year 2017, there were all these riots going on in Berkeley, right? And then everyone down here in LA were like, what the fuck's going on in Berkeley, right? And it was because of Milo Yiannopoulos, right? Because he was going to give a speech there, and everyone's like, no! And we're like, who the fuck is this guy? And then they're like, oh, he's like some alt-right neo-Nazi, you know? So right when I heard that, right, I was like, man, that son of a bitch, right? I'm like, a motherfucker, you know? And so one day I see this TV show that's Vice, and they're interviewing Milo Yiannopoulos, right? So I'm like, who is this guy, right? It's the first time I ever seen him. And so I'm looking at him, right? And I'm just like boiling with fucking anger, you know? I'm like, this alt-right neo-Nazi son of a bitch, right? I'm like, I just want to fucking kill him, you know? Like, I told him, like, you know, he's all smiling and shit. And I just want to, like, reach in the screen and just fucking choke him, you know? So, like, I'm like looking up who this guy is, right? And then the first thing I see is, like, this picture of his wedding, right? And he's married to, like, this black guy, right? And he's got this, like, yarmulke on. He's, like, Jewish, you know? So I'm like, well, how can he be the neo-Nazi if he's marrying a black guy and he's Jewish? And he's not, you know, he's not a neo-Nazi. He's just like this snarky gay dude who doesn't like feminism, you know? And during that time, it was that Ghostbusters movie came out, with the all-women cast, and he was like all against that, you know? And that's it. He's just like some free speech guy. But then I was like, wait, who the fuck told me he was like this neo-Nazi, you know? Like, oh, the fucking news, you know, the mainstream media and shit. Yeah, so nowadays, like, I take the mainstream media with just a grain of salt, you know what I mean? Whereas I'll take social media with like a gram of weed. Yeah, Luigi Mangione is a hero, whereas Thomas Matthew Crooks is a loser. Yeah, a lady the other day told me that Asians also have white privilege. I was like, oh, really? So being called a gook or a chink is like a compliment or something? Yeah, I'm so privileged. Alright, we'll do these other jokes. Why did the squirrel fuck the almond? Who wanted to bust it up? I think rednecks are like obsessed with race and shit. That's why they're all into NASCAR. And you know, whoever named the sharks, you know he was a white guy, right? Because like the great white shark, you know, it's like overcompensating much. Yeah, I think we should rename that shit. Yeah, we call it the crackerfish. Where's the best place in Los Angeles to get a blowjob?
Where?
Downtown. You know, actors are so fucking like jealous and like passive aggressive and shit. You know, it's fucking crazy and shit. Yeah, they'll be like, hey, break a leg. Please God. Why did Alexander the Great cut the legs off his enemies? To defeat them. Yeah, why is Thanksgiving always on a Thursday? Because Wednesday is hump day. Yeah, hump day was coined a long time ago, you know. Yeah, by your mom. And what do camels call hump day? Roar! I was talking to one gun guy about carbines, right? A carbine is a light rifle. And the dude was like, oh yeah, it's also what I call my cock. Like, yeah, right, more like a Dillinger. What do people like bananas?
Why?
Because they're appealing.
Appreciate it, man. All right.
Keep whatever you want,